It is time for the final road course race of the Gatorade Cup Series season number 13. We head to Road America for the running of the Speedco 330, a very unique racetrack, a very interesting race we're going to see here today. Pit strategy always means a lot here at Road America. This race will be no different for sure. The 18 John Speedford on pole for today's race. Beside him in second, the 2 of Luke Rainey. Starting in third, we have Nathan Baird. In fourth, it's TJ Hanley. And rounding out the top 5, Brett Sierra in the 24. Starting in sixth, we have Colin Teague. In seventh, it's Jake Galloway, All-Star winner. Then Baby Rose starts in 8th. Riley Sprutum in 9th. And Caden Lynn rounds out the top 10 in the 37. Back behind them, we have Evan Hunter the 6th and the 12 of Levi Shones, along with Brandon Beal and Nottingham Scott in the 66. Then their second in points, Max Anderson, and the 9 of Jeff Bright, along with John Smith the 4 and the 52 of Zachary DeLello. Then we have Keegan Thompson and Justin Zidell the 41, along with Diego Yepez and Cody Anderson the 95. Then there's Derek Hamill and Marshall Burrell, along with point leader Anthony Hernandez and the 8 of Conrad Evans. Then there's Riley Cresswell and Special Kukuman the 54, along with the 3 of Bronson Minnick and the 19 of Jade Jefferson. Then there's Roman Fenway and Eli Bright the 88. Griffin Lee making his final start at this racetrack, Cole Luigi beside him the 42. Then there's Riley Sampson and Matt Oskin the 15, along with Logan Williams and the 10 of Ross McTrain. Then there's Jay Randall 53 and 96 Anson and Charles Bois. And rounding out the field, Scott Gregory the 1 and Max Rossi 81 start on the last row in 41st and 42nd here today at Road America. 13 laps here in the Speedco 330 about to get underway. John Speedford on pole. Let's go to track. Time for those famous words to fire these engines up.
Drivers, start your engines!
"42 cars rolling off here at Road America to do battle in the Speedco 330. Not many races left before we get to chase time, which means the intensity level high for these drivers that are looking to make their way into the postseason with a good result here in Road America. John Speedford, Luke Rainey, 2 of those drivers will start on the front row, the least of the green flag. But this racetrack, you never know what's going to happen. We've seen unopportune caution flags come out in the past at this race, which has shaken up the running order and caused some insane pit strategy, which has resulted in some drivers starting at the back of the field, coming up to the front to try and win. 13 laps as they climb the hill. John Speedford, Luke Rainey on the front row for the Speedco 330. How will it play out here today in Road America? Only time will tell. At the top of the hill they get. Buford, Rainey will step on the gas first. The green flag waving in the wind. We're road course racing at Road America. John Speedford gets clear in the lead. The battle for a second. Luke trying to take it back from Nathan Baird and Will. Here comes TJ Hanley with the run in the 21 as they race off turn number 2 and down the first of the long straightaways of this racetrack. Speedford gets away with a big gap. The battle for second is on. Levi Shones trying to get around the 00 Baby Rose to move his way inside the top 10. Jake Galloway has faded on the start along with Riley Sprutum and some others moving up forward as they hit this heavy braking left-hander turn 3. Cars starting to move out as they try to make passes under these braking zones. Sierra trying to make a pass on the 51 of Colin Teague. Shones going after Caden Lynn, the 37. Right here through this section of the racetrack, Teague is in the preferred lane, but Sierra's still fighting hard in the 24, staying beside him. Some cars off in the grass, but so far keeping it clean. Sierra and Teague right here as they get into the carousel right here. You're going to be on the bottom lane. We'll see if Sierra can clear. He can't. Colin Teague gets the preferred lane through the carousel. This is the battle for 5th. Teague will get it over Sierra. Now Caden Lynn, Levi Shones are side by side. Shones that's the preferred lane right here as they enter the kink. You don't want to go side by side. The guy in the inside will have to check him right there. Lynn will lose a spot not only to Ruiz, but maybe to Galloway and Beal as well. There goes Jake by him, and Beal looks for a shot as well in the 62. So right there, going on the inside, the kink really, really impacts it. See, Caden Lynn lost 2 spots off that. He'll be able to hold off Brandon Beal just barely in the 62. Back up to the front. John Speedford still lead right there. This final corner means a lot. If you go wide, you might lose a lot of time. And that's what second place Luke Rainey does. Baird to his inside. Maybe some contact between the 77 and the 2 as they race for second place. Up the hill, John Speedford from pole leads the first lap of the Speedco 330. Luke Rainey second as the yellow is already out. There was some sort of issue on the racetrack. And it was the 10 of McTrain, the 81 of Max Rossi that are all torn up, and maybe some others back here as well. So an early yellow on lap 1 here in the Speedco 330. Ross McTrain, Max Rossi, looks like they're the two involved. Let's go see what happened to them. This was where we saw the yellow in the Target Series race yesterday. Racing at, once again, the back of the field. Max Rossi behind Griffin Lynn and Riley Sampson, teammates battling in front of him. Rossi right here as they're kind of checking up, entering the corner. Rossi looks to the inside of Griffin Lynn. Lynn gets into the 47, has to get off, and the 81 kind of gets into the 36. Around goes Rossi. He gets hit by the 15, Smet Oskin, and Ross McTrain obviously gets the worst fit in the 10. Lynn spins around, then Scott Greger is the breaks along with Anson and Charbon not to run into others. So the yellow flag is caused. The two cars with the most damage, the 81 and the 10. 36 got some slight damage along with the 15. So a smaller crash at the back of the field, but the yellow flag comes out for it, and we're going to have a restart now. John Buford did not want to see that. He got a great jump on the start of this race, and now he has to give it all back. And just the same place we saw the yellow in the Target Series race, except they didn't hit the tire barriers this time. So obviously John Buford did not want to see that. The 18 got out to a nice lead from pole, but now he has a restart to deal with. Luke Rainey, Nathan Bear will be hot on his tails, will go green in a few laps at Road America. Before we go green, drivers are coming down pit road, taking this opportunity to get some fuel. And do we see anyone maybe stay out trying to get track position? You're going to have to pit again. So I'm shocked if someone at the back of the pack does not take this opportunity to stay out, which so far no one is. Everyone is coming down the pit lane, which I'm shocked of. You can't make it from here on fuel. You're just trying to get yourself into a better window in case some yellows come out. But I'm shocked that they're all taking this opportunity to pit, and no one is daring staying on the racetrack, and they're taking some tires here as well. But some are taking fuel only because they know they don't need the tires. Baird and Hanley leave first and second. They took fuel only, while some drivers took two. Buford the first of them to take tires. So interesting strategy call here at Road America. Nathan Baird, the 77, TJ Hanley, the 21, they take fuel only. They'll be the race leaders in the Speedco 330. Some interesting pit strategy under the first yellow flag here in Road America. Nathan Baird, TJ Hanley take fuel only to get track position. Jake Galloway in fourth, also with fuel only on his stop. So they'll be first, second, and fourth, as every car still left running. All 42 are left on the lead lap. So Nathan Baird, TJ Hanley, fuel only, they get out first and second. Jonathan Buford on two tires in third, starting on pole. Then Jake Galloway, fuel only in fourth, and Luke Rainey in fifth on two tires. Caden Lynn, Max Anderson, sixth and seventh. Zach DeLello is eighth. Conrad Evans in ninth, and Brett Sierra is 10th. So some jumbling of the running order, with some drivers taking two and some drivers taking fuel only. Some have moved up inside the top 15, top 10. Some have fallen back outside the top 20 with this call. We'll restart with 10 laps to go in Road America. Nathan Baird, TJ Hanley like their strategy call to get some track position on the others that took fuel only. Everyone's going to have to pit again, so that was a good call. Coming to the green flag, it's waving back in the air. Baird gets away in the 77. But Hanley gets a nice one to the inside of the 21. A great restart for TJ Hanley. Jake Galloway goes along, teammate John Buford as well. Who can outbrake who into turn one? Hanley trying to maintain the bomb, get the power down, but he couldn't. Baird clears the valve for a second now. Buford and Hanley go side by side. Buford oversteps the corner. Hanley clears for a second. Here comes Caden Lynn up on the inside, the 37. He was not running well at all, but this track position change with this strategy has worked out for him. He's moving in the 37 on the inside. Looking to get by Jake Galloway for fourth right there. He has the outside lane into this heavy left-hander. Galloway will be able to clear three wide for Luke Rainey. He lost some track position in this shuffle. He's now back outside the front five after running in second. And they scatter behind Anthony Nance, making some big moves in the 13. Came in as the points leader, but right now with the top 2 points running way in front of him, he might lose that points and may even fall back to third or so. Sean Smith getting physical with Jeff Bright in the 9. One car off into the dirt in front, but we stay green. Brett Sierra, maybe a bump from Levi Schoen. Sierra goes wide in the 24. Right here through the carousel, if you're in the inside, you want to clear the guy you're bound with on the outside, or else you'll be side by side to the kink, and that's not where you want to be. The Teague able to clear Spur Tip. Zidell will back out to get him behind the 22. Same story behind Keegan Thompson, and Cody Aronson goes side by side. Aaronson's got to get that spot, and Will in the 95. So Thompson will fight and fade back there in the 48 after being on the inside there. Hanley closing on Nathan Baird just a little bit, 77 and 21. They have Buford in third. His teammate Galloway now fourth. Caden Lynn in fifth. Luke Rainey in sixth. Max Anderson second in points in 7th. Conrad Evans in 8th. DeLello 9th. And Colin Teague now top 10 to 51. Through the final corner, Beeford, Galway both go wide. The front two do a decent job getting through the corner. Baird just a little bit better. We have a battle. Luke Rainey and Max Anderson going side by side. Anderson trying to get the spot from Luke, who is faded on the restart. That 43 doesn't look that stable down the straightaway. You can see right there, they're really moving around, but Anderson gets the spot from Luke. He gets up to 6th right there. And Luke back to 7th. Buford still ahead of Jake Galloway as Hanley closes in on Nathan Baird a little bit. Everyone getting through turn 2 cleanly. Luke back on Anderson now for 6th. So Max had just taken that position, but Luke will get it right back in the 2. Behind them, the battle for 8th. DeLello moves around Conrad Evans, and Colin Teague and 10th looking to get up into that battle. And for 11th, Brotim and Zidell are side by side. Zidell trying to take that spot from Riley. Most of the field is kind of fallen off right there. I think that was with some issues through the through that final section of the racetrack with the 48 and whatnot. They're 3 wide behind. Hunter sending it to the bottom of Hamill and Burl as the 6 tries to gain some spots. A lot of these drivers back here making these big moves. They're looking to try and get points in terms of the postseason. Still the same front two as Baird keeping a constant gap over Hanley. Caden Lynn in 5th trying to close in, and Anderson and DeLello battling it out for 7th now, 7th and 8th. DeLello can't complete the pass on that. Evans still in 9th and Teague still in 10th, but now Zidell up to 11th, gaining on the 10th place runner of Colin Teague. And to fall back to his teammate Levi Shones. All 3 Penske cars running well so far today. In fact, their affiliate teammate TJ Hanley also running well. So the 4 Penske affiliate cars not doing too bad as Hanley closing once again to the back of Nathan Baird. You'd have to think if Baird makes a mistake in this final corner, TJ can try and pounce in that 21. He looks like he might be a little bit better overall. The 77 just has some better moments as well. Baird goes really wide by Hanley, kind of follows him through that corner right there. Buford will have a nice run in the 18 as he got through the corner better. He pulls away from Jake Gowey. Now it might be a 3-car race. This battle for 6th is not over yet. Anderson in the draft to Luke Rainey, closing up onto him off that final corner, and might try and make a dive bomb move into turn 1 right here. There he goes to the bottom. So this battle for 6 not going away anytime soon. Max Anderson, Luke Rainey going at it again. Side by side to turn 1. Battle up in front. Hanley messed up turn 2. Here comes Buford trying to get by for 2nd, and Buford to P2 in the 18. One mistake out of the 21 that cost him 2nd. So right there now, Jonathan, that's what you need to have happen right there. He forced that 21 into a mistake. Now Buford to 2nd on 2 fresh tires compared to the 2 drivers around him. So we'll see what Buford can do to try and run down Nathan Baird. Remember, Jonathan started on pole in this race, but faded back with this strategy. Oh, we got maybe some contact. Teammates Zachary DeLello and Colin T going at it. This brings Zidell to the battle as well. 3-way fight for 9th, 10th, and 11th. Evans back up to 8th. Spurley and teammate Shones battle. Shones trying to get by his teammate, and it looks like he has all but completed. Levi moves up a spot to 12th. He's had a decent day so far, but the question is, they're all going to have to make a pit stop again. On this pit stop, what do? Do you take tires? If you took tires, do you take fuel only? If you didn't take tires, do you have to take tires? That's going to be an interesting thing once we get, further into this race around lap 10 or so. That's when we would expect these drivers to have to come down pit road. In the battle for 3rd now, Jake Gowey's gaining on TJ Hanley, so the 21 has faded ever since losing that 2nd spot, and it's not been a great lap for TJ at all. He's lost ground, and through Canada Corner there, though, he actually gained on Buford a little bit, so the 18 not great through Canada Corner. See what Baird can do. He's not really done well. Yeah, he's not doing well through the final corner at all. Buford does, but look at Hanley. He washes up again, and now Jake's going to try and take 3rd. But Buford has a nice run to Baird right there. Better run off that final corner. Leads you all the way down this long straightaway. The longest straightaway of the course, and if you mess up that final corner, you get down to turn 1, you're still losing time. A 3-way battle for 5th as well as Gowey gets in behind Hanley, so can't complete that pass for 3rd. But a 3-way battle for 5th between Caden Lynn, Luke Rainey, and Max Anderson. Anderson looking to take over the points. He came in 2nd in points. Battle for 3rd. Gowey's inside of TJ Hanley. Can Jake complete the pass? Remember, Jake is already into the chase because of his all-star victory, so he's just here for wins, and who knows what strategy he might try and pull at the end of this race, as Jake will move to 3rd by TJ Hanley, so the 11 coming alive here. TJ looks like he's a little bit better down the straightaway, though. That 11 had him clear, but the 21 fought back, so that forward power really working out for TJ down these straightaways. And now, once again, these two battle for 6th. Luke Rainey and Max Anderson. Anderson trying to keep it beneath the 2. And Caden Lynn closing in that battle for third as Jake does clear TJ. Luke trying to clear Anderson, who goes a little wide on corner exit there into the grass a little bit, but using up every ounce of racetrack he can use. Now he's going wide right there, and Conrad Evans now into that fight along with Zachary DeLello, Colin Teague. Levi Schoen's up to 11th, got by Justin Zidell. Cody Anderson down to 13th by Riley Spurgeon, and Brett Sear right now in the top 15. They have Keegan Thompson and Jeff Wright. That's 3 Hendrick cars right in a row, 15th, 16th, and 17th. Anthony Hernandez now back outside the top 15 and the 13, and you look for Eli Bright. Where is the 88 at? He's back in 30th right now. His 3 Hendrick teammates are running just in the top 15 or just outside the top 15. He stops at the cars that are slower. So Nathan Baird again through this final corner, and once again he kind of goes wider, but Buford didn't do a lot better than him that time. Gowie doing a great job through that final corner. Caden Lynn did a really good job. He gained a lot of time. Luke Ray did not do a good job at all. Max Anderson has a run in the 43 beside him and actually pulls ahead of him. So Luke Ray's final corner was not good at all. In fact, a disaster for Luke. Max through by Rainey. Now the battle for 7th. Conrad Evans looking inside of Luke to turn 1. And for Luke, what you're thinking right here is you've been around 11th to 13th in points all season long. You can't get up inside the top 10. You haven't fallen outside the top 15, though, so you just need a good points day. If you can exit this race inside the top 10 and try and get up inside the top 10 in points, that's all Luke really needs to do here today. So if he's battling Conrad Evans really hard, maybe just let him have the spot. The battle for 4th. Caden Lynn moving up, trying to get by TJ Hanley. They're side by side. Turn 3 right there. Lynn fighting on the outside, did a really good job in that 37 as Luke is still fighting with the 52 of DeLello, actually got by Conrad Evans, and these two still going out for 4th, and that might allow Max Anderson to close in. Caden Lynn gets 4th, Hanley back to 5th, and there comes Max Anderson in 6th. Luke Rain keeps 7th. DeLello up to 8th by Conrad Evans back to 9th, and Colin Teague still 10th. Levi Schoen's trying to hunt him down in 11th. And Sierra moves to 14th by Riley Spurgeon, who's just continuing to fade. Anthony is also fading back to 18th, and now under fire from Brandon Beal and Bibby Ruiz 19th and 20th. So our points there, Hernandez, possibly not going to be the points there at the end of the day, as second in points, Max Anderson runs up inside the top 10 in 6th, and third in points, John Buford trying to hunt down the race there right now in 3rd. Excuse me, in 2nd. 5 laps go at the line for Nathan Baird, who has played the strategy right. However, John Buford, who's leading before the strategy call, Buford right now in 2nd, trying to hunt that 77 down. They're running pretty similar lap times. Baird hasn't really gotten away from Buford, but Buford hasn't closed in much at all as well. We'll see what Baird can do through the final corner. That time he got down to the bottom, so a really good job. Buford really messed up on the 18. Baird's going to pit. So once again, now the drivers who took fuel only, they have to pit sooner. If a yellow comes out, they can leapfrog these drivers. But here's all the drivers that took fuel only. On pit road, Luke Gray, who took 2, also come down, but that's going to hand the lead back to Jonathan Buford in the 18. So that's with 5 to go right there. Battle for what was going to be 10th, now it's a little bit farther up in the pack. Schoen's is inside Colin Teague. Levi Schoen's trying to get by the 51. What do these drivers do on pit road? Is it 2 or 4? 2 tires going on the 77. Oh, the 9, Jeff Bright's blown up on the front stretch. Jeff Bright's blown an engine. Slow now, off turn 1. Does he get all the way back around to pit road? Is there anything on the track that would warn a yellow flag to come out? Jeff Bright's slow. Nathan Baird goes by him. Others try to work around. Now, here's the thing about what Nathan Baird's strategy is. It got in track position there, but having to pit a lap sooner than others, he's now in traffic. So he's going to be slower. And we saw in Luke Rain's pit stop, as everyone was taking left side tires, he took right sides because he took left sides on his first pit stop. Jeff Bright working back to the inside of the racetrack there in the 9. Issues to Jeff's car. A lot of cars came down pit road that time. You can see it right here. Some of these guys are just slower though. Like the 36 is slower, the 10 is slower as well. So issues there. But now, Jonathan Buford in the lead. He's now trying to go as hard as he can on this lap to gain as much time as he can on Nathan Baird to try and leapfrog him on this strategy. We're coming to 4 to go this time by the 18, trying to play this strategy right. Harrison and DeLello in the battle right now. 43 and 52, you have Colin Teague and Levi Schoen's, Cody Anderson, Zidell, Sierra, and Spurgeon still out here as well. So they're going to try and overcut. That's something you don't normally hear at a road course or in terms of strategy, but overcutting might work here because some drivers had to go back there into the pack and they might lose time. So Buford now coming in. Does anyone dare go another lap to try and maybe catch something. So far, everyone decided to come down pit road, and I don't blame them. I don't think I would try and push another lap, but maybe if someone has nothing to lose, they might try it. But so far, everyone working their way to pit road. No one wants to go another lap. It looks like every single person coming down, but there's Nathan Baird. Logan Williams had to stay out because he was side by side with Baird, so Williams has not yet pitted in the 47. That's going to be interesting for sure. Buford, it sounds like, is down and away in the 18. There he is. You can see right there, he got out ahead. He may have taken fuel only as well because of how short of time there is left. So Buford leapfrogs. Max Anderson right up behind Jake Galloway. DeLello with them. Caden Lynn behind them. So now the strategy play has all cycled out again. As some drivers lose time, some gain time with this pit strategy. And Logan Williams stays ahead of Nathan Baird for a second, so at this stage, Jonathan Buford in a nice position. Jeff Bright will make his way back to pit road. Scott Greger extended stay on pit road, so an issue on the one car, but big issues to Jeff Bright. His engine will not make it to the end. So now here's the question. Do those tires work out for Nathan Baird? We're going to have to see here. Nathan Baird on 2 tires. Buford that time took fuel only to get track position back after taking tires under the first yellow flag. But something with that 18, I mean, Logan Williams is closing. I don't think Williams has pitted yet. We'll have to see here. Jake Galloway right now in 4th. Max Anderson leaps up to 5th. DeLello 6th. Caden Lynn back to 7th. Colin Teague up to 8th. Evans is 9th. And Luke Gray back down to 10th. Teague only back outside the top 10 and 11th. Schoen's in 12th. Thompson and Anderson 13th and 14th. And 15th would be Justin Zaidel currently. Some cars go wide right there as they were about side by side to the kink, and that worked for Colin Teague as Caden Lynn looks to get by Zachary DeLello in the 52. That is a battle just outside the top 5 and 6th. Baird onto the back as 47's past the 18. Logan Williams has got by Jonathan Buford. The 18 is slower. Williams will have to pit though, but now it's a battle between Jonathan Buford and Nathan Baird. So how about this? Buford, something as that 18 just doesn't look as great right now. And here we go to the inside for Nathan Baird. 3 to go. The battle for the lead is on. Baird and Buford side by side to turn 1. Can the 77 take it from the 18? He is clear. Nathan Baird back out in front at Road America. How about that for Nathan Baird? That 18, he took fuel only. I don't know if it's reacting well. Jake Galloway right now in 3rd, but at this moment 3 to go, and the yellow flag would end it. Now Max Anderson is leaped up to 4th, Caden Lynn's 5th, DeLello in 6th, Colin Teague 7th, Luke Rainey 8th, Hanley 9th, Schoen's is 10th, Evans back to 11th, Cody Anderson in 12th, bound for 13th is Justin Zaidel and Keegan Thompson. That's 13th and 14th, then Sierra in 15th, Brandon Beal 16th, Spurtube 17th, Hernandez 18th, Burrow 19th, Scottish 20th, and Derek Kimmel 21st, Fenway 22nd, Rando 23rd, Minnick 24th, 25th to Max Rossi, Riley Sampson right there as well, 26th, Rose 27th, Hunter 28th, Williams in 29th, Coluigi 30th, John Smith 31st, Oskin 32nd, Lynn 33rd, 34th to Eli Brighton, 35th to Yepez, 36th to Charles Bois, Kukulon 37th, Jefferson 38th, Cresswell 39th, McTrain 40th. Scott Greger still on pair with the issue on the 1, obviously terminal. And the issue on the 9 was camshaft, which puts him out of the race. He'll finish 41st or 42nd here today, depending on if the 1 can continue on. 40 cars, only that last of Ross McTrain and Riley Cresswell. But at the front, Nathan Baird. He's led the most laps here today. However, it's been a whole strategy play between the 77 and the 18. It's been a huge game of when to take tires and when not to. Is Buford maybe laying back there trying to save his stuff? He is a wily veteran. Is he trying to save some stuff, maybe get up there at the end? Baird overshoots the final corner. Buford does not. This time by 2 to go. We've also seen in the past here where you try to make your pit stop as short as possible so you don't take as much fuel as maybe you need to. And we've seen a lot of times some drivers, especially front runners, run dry on fuel and have to pit with 1 or 2 to go. So if you're Baird, you took tires, so you should be fine, but there's always a huge question mark with when you pitted. You pit with 5 to go. I have to believe if you took tires, you should be good to go with 5 to go. Buford pit with 4 to go. He should be fine to go as well, but you just never know. I mean, you have the 38 on pit road. I don't think he had pitted yet because of that damage. You got Jay Jefferson all torn up in the 19 as well. There's Ross McTrain and there's Sampson, but the front two battles tightened up. Baird got away from Buford the previous lap, but this lap, Buford's starting to close in the 18. Turn 4, now to turn 5. This is where Baird, I think, looks a little bit better. This kind of technical portion of the racetrack, he looks to be a little bit better than the 18. But obviously, with how he's done the final corner, this whole race, you have to get farther away from the 18 because Buford really closed in. All the time you gain in this portion of the track, you give up all that time if you continue to mess up that final corner. Anderson runs some fast laps trying to get up to P3 in the 43. There's the rest of the battle for the top 10 spots so far. And they back up to 9th past Levi Shones. Baird's pulled back away from the 18 and John Buford, so nice set of corners there for Baird, but still 1 lap to go at the start-finish line. 4 miles left, and it's a long 4 miles, almost 2 minutes around each time. Nathan Baird looking to win his first ever Gatorade Cup Series race, being chased by the wily veteran of Jonathan Buford. Again, Baird wide in the final corner, but Buford also wide. As they climb the hill to see the white flag, one more time around, Road America, Nathan Baird leads Jonathan Buford. But any mistake out of the 77 could give it to the 18. Battle for 5th. DeLello's closing on Caden Lynn. Colin Teague still have Luke Rainey. Hanley still ahead of Levi Shones. Lynn able to hold off for 5th for now. Baird still a comfortable gap up on the 18 of Jonathan Buford. To return 2 cleanly. Down this long straightaway. Can't miss any shifts here. So far, every balance at the top 10 all but settled. Here's a battle for 10th, though. Evans trying to get back from Shones and Will through turn 2. Now Anderson under fire from Zidell. Thompson waiting in 14th. Sierra in 15th. Battle for 16th. Beal and Spurley 2. Here's this battle as Anderson looks to get around Levi Shones for 11th. But let's go back up to the front as Baird's pulled back away from Buford. So Buford's 1 good lap. Got him close to the 77, but not by. And he needed to get by if he wanted to have a shot this win, it looks like. Nathan Baird to the carousel for the final time here today. He's never won in the Gatorade Cup Series. There's just a few races ago at Charlotte where he had a terrible crash on the backstretch, hitting the opening head-on and flipping the car into traffic. But he's rebounded well. At one of the toughest racetracks on the schedule, this 4-mile road course in Elkhart Lake, Wisconsin. Baird in the final few corners. He didn't start on pole, but he started well. A strategy play got him track position. A strategy play lost him track position, but in the long run, it gained him that track position back with those tires at the end. The best he's gone through the final corner all day long, and it was in the final lap. Nathan Baird up the hill. The first time he'll visit victory lane in the Gatorade Cup Series. Nathan Baird will win the Speedco 330 at Road America. Buford ends up in 2nd, the 18. His teammate Galway in 3rd. Anderson holds off Caden Lynn 4th and 5th. DeLello gets 6th. Still waiting for 7th on back. 7th place Colin Teague. Hanley up to 8th. Luke Rain down to 9th. Conrad Evans gets a top 10, the 8. But it's all Nathan Baird here today. He wins in Road America. Dominating fashion, leading every lap en route to victory lane. Let's now go see the finish results and the updated points. Here's how they finished in the Speedco 330 at Road America. 1 caution flag for 2 laps happened on the first lap, and 3 lead changes. 2 drivers led the laps here in Road America. They were Nathan Baird and John Buford. They finished 1-2. Baird leading the most of them, 9 en route to victory. John Buford from pole led a few laps, ends up in 2nd. Jake Galway a good run in 3rd. Max Anderson in 4th, and 5th place to Caden Lynn. Zachary DeLello ends up in 6th. Colin Teague in 7th. TJ Hanley 8th. Luke Rainey 9th, and Conrad Evans the 8 completes the top 10. And he looked at that race. Nathan Baird's fastest lap he ran was the last lap. Even though he had a gap over Jonathan Buford, he was not letting off. He was making sure that he had enough gap to the end. He won this race by 1.5 seconds. But the points picture, once again, will move around. Jonathan Buford, Max Anderson get top 5s. Meanwhile, Anthony is in 17th. New points there to the 43. 13 down to 3rd. But the front 3, once again, are still within 15 points of each other. This season has been unpredictable in terms of points leaders. I don't remember the last time we won a race without changing the points lead. And once again, it keeps happening. It's happening down around 10th as well. Some drivers down here didn't have days that they needed to try and make it into the chase. A lot of drivers down here were up well in points or battling for wild card position, you name it. But it's going to change this whole chase complexity as two cars did not finish this race. Jeff Bright, camshaft, and Scott Gregory, whatever issues it was on the one, he did not have a great race, finishes down in 41st. Let's now go see the points. Just a few races left until we get to the postseason. Here are the point standings after 19 races. Max Anderson, the 43, back out on top. He's completed every lap so far this season, but he's only up by 7 over Jonathan Buford. The runner-up here today moves him up to second in points, 7 top 5s, 8 top 10s in 19 races. It's been a very, very strong season for Jonathan Buford. Hernandez down to third, but only 13 points back. Caden Lynn in fourth, and Bibi Ruiz right now in fifth. Luke Rennie jumps up to 6th with the top 10 result here today. Spro Tube in 7th, Noggin Scott in 8th. Jay Red on 9th, and Anthony Charbaugh falls down to 10th in the 96. Still very, very close in terms of wildcard spots, because with Jake Galloway, he takes up that wildcard spot because of his all-star victory. There's only one wildcard spot available. It's right now TJ, only 2 wins in 17th. However, he's still within range of falling outside the top 20, and other drivers can try and win, like Riley Sampson, Roman Fenway, Nathan Baird moves up to 16th. You have Marshall Burrow. If they win another race, they could try and pass TJ Hanley in terms of that wildcard spot. So having multiple wins, once again, is probably the way to make it into the postseason through a wildcard. Think about those front three, how close they are still, 19 races through, and really the top 9 within a race of the points leader. It's been an insane Gatorade Cup Series season in terms of points, and it's just continued to happen race after race. We're having new points leaders, and it's crazy. And look down here, Max Rossi, 21st, only 4 points outside the top 20, not that far behind TJ. Cole Luigi, 24th, not that far behind as well. And you look at Jake Galloway, he's 22nd in points. He's not out of the realm of possibility of possibly getting up there and getting inside the top 10 in points to maybe then make it 2 wildcard spots available. So right now for Jake Galloway, 22nd in points, but I'm sure some drivers would love to see him get up either into a wildcard position or up into the top 10, so that everything is known in terms of wildcard spots. Some drivers down here, looks like their chances might be over. Down below the top 30, even down below the top 25. It's going to be very, very hard to try and do it here this season. So 19 races done with the Gatorade Cup Series Season 13. The 20th race will head to Darlington for the Southern 500. I'll see you guys then.